What's up? What's up? What's up?
What's
Can you
good,
hear
bro?
me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Just I've been plugging away at a bunch of different shit for this album. You know, I've been really busy putting it together. So it's good to finally be able to talk a little bit at least about some of the shit that I have going on.
Right, right.
So I know I know you guys have seen like a lot of the stuff that's happening with the whole Free Coast thing and the Free Coast thing and the F-65 thing. I haven't been in the I haven't been in the Discord like too much, like paying attention to everything, but I don't know if people are putting anything, getting like putting everything together yet, or understand kind of like some of the concept. I would like to know if anybody has put that together in their minds, or you guys as a group.
Yeah, so if anybody in the audience wants to share anything that they've
Well,
learned.
I'd say someone up here first, and we'll get to the audience in a second. But if anyone any information, if not, it's cool. I'll get into some of the stuff.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have a couple questions about it because I haven't really been free to look at everything because I've been busy lately. So I haven't. I'm pretty curious about it.
Yeah.
What is this something that we are? You said it's something we're having to figure out on our own and put together.
Well, yeah, I don't really like to talk too much about a lot of these things only because I just feel like with the art, music is so accessible and easy to get. You don't necessarily have to go to the store and buy it anymore. You can listen to it in the convenience of your home, things like that. I kind of just want there to be some work put into hearing some of this stuff. Not that I'm entitled to everyone's time. I understand everyone has things to
Right,
do and
right,
has lives and things, but I also put so much time and effort into it that I love to see people putting time and effort into understanding what's going on and coming up with your own theories of what it is. But I will say this album is a conversation about kind of just being a person of color around the world. It's me specifically, I can speak on being black. I was born in London. I came to America when I was 2 years old, and I come from African parents, West African parents. So, you know, my experience is kind of well rounded, but I don't have every single experience covered in general. So what I do is I speak from my point of view and the things that I know. But this next album is basically me trying to shed light on the conversation that I feel like we've been trying to have for a very long time. But I feel like because of the anger and the pain behind a lot of the conversation, we've had that conversation based off emotion. And I think the next step for us is, in order to really bring change, is to be able to have a conversation that feels good. So
right,
F-65 is a conversation about racial issues or equality or problems or just perspective. Even that doesn't have to be negative, just
Right.
racial perspective, specifically black for me, and the conversation feels good. So when I do a song like Radioactive, it's like I'm saying some real shit about some real problems that a lot of people are dealing with when it comes to murders and people retaliating against each other and all of that stuff over music that feels more like fun. And that's the reason why, is because I feel like for people to really hear some of the shit that I really have to say, you kind of have to listen to it in a way where it's like you're not trying to listen to it, you're just feeling the music. And what
Right.
I'm
yeah,
doing on this next album is I want people to feel the music, and hopefully after having it on repeat, start to understand what I'm really trying to portray in the message. You feel me?
yeah. It was
No,
a very good idea. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off if you were talking.
no, you're good, dude. No, I was just gonna
Uh,
say, like, I see that, like, in every album that you make, you put so much effort into it because you can see every time you listen to it, you hear something new, whether it's like a sound, like a hidden message, or even just like in the track list. Like, I like the way that you compile everything together and compartmentalize everything
Yeah.
with everything
yeah.
that you're doing in general. So
Yeah.
Mm.
So the message in this album, it started with simple actually. I knew that I've been working on F-65, and I knew that I wanted to have the conversation of what's happening on F-65, but I started it in simple. That's why you on the second track, you hear kind of some of like what's going on in the race, whole race element and conversation um, in that. And F-65 is just a continuation and a bigger picture story of what I spoke about on Simple. You know what I'm saying? Simple is
right.
about a
Mm.
neighborhood specifically, and then F-65 is about the world. So I got to travel the world and meet different people and get different perspectives. And then that's why we shot Radioactive in London. You know, it's like
Mhm.
kind of like taking all of the elements of the worldly conversations around race, and then now giving it to you guys in my point of view. So, you know, I look at myself right now as just a messenger. How I make music, like, to be honest, I really don't give a fuck about like some of the things that people may think I care about. I don't really like, of course, I like making money. I like being comfortable doing what I do, but I really don't give a fuck. That's not what I'm thinking about. I'm actually spending a lot of my own money to be able to have this conversation and tell the story of this conversation through different things, because truthfully that's what matters to me the most. If I'm not doing that, I really don't give a fuck about music. You know, I have to be saying some shit that I feel like is important for the world in order for me to feel fulfilled musically, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's put in the way that you portray your music and making the songs fun to listen to and while portraying a good message is also something that a lot of people miss out on because they're too busy thinking about the beat or listening to it, but they're not actually listening. So it's
Yeah.
good to incorporate that message.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think
Okay.
oh my bad. Yes, like how you're saying like Simple is just like one neighborhood and then this next album is going to be about the world. I think that's really cool too because it's like you're giving your own perspective from like how you were brought up and like how that affected you. But then now you're going to give the perspective of like how other people in other places of the world are being brought up.
Right, but also it's through my lens. So
Yeah.
I may not know every single thing about everybody, right? But
Right.
my whole thing with this album is I don't want people who aren't necessarily considered POC, people of color, to feel uncomfortable when we speak. I want them to feel good, and I want to feel good having a conversation, even if it's a heavy conversation.
Right.
Like I have something that's gonna come out in the next couple of weeks that's gonna be very heavy in the conversation, but the feeling of the music is like literally the opposite. And you know, with me, I love juxtaposition. That's my favorite thing. I love confusing people. Like when you look
Hmm.
at me and you see this and you see that and you put it together, you wonder how do all those things come together? Well, you got to understand where I come from. I was born in fucking London. I came by African parents, first generation. I came to America when I was 2 years old, raised by a single mother, got a stepfather, grew up in a middle class ish neighborhood that's surrounded by the hood. And I went
Yeah.
to school in the hood, and I went to school with the hood. So I had that back and forth with these people, and then these people at school, and then coming back to my fucking house where it was like, yo, my parents went to college and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like they have degrees and shit. And that back and forth was like a mind fuck for me, you know? And then I feel like I only got love from people from the hood because I used to be bad in school and my parents didn't show me love when I was bad. So I felt like I needed to go there. I ended up going to prison 4 times. I went to jail and prison 4 times, is in total. And then I fucking came out of that. And in the last year when I was in prison, that same year I was in college. So I went to
Yeah.
college. You know, I'm trying to like straighten my life out and all of this stuff. And then I became a rapper, and I used to fucking before that I used to fucking direct videos and do photography, and before that I used to work on cars and painting cars and literally fixing cars and buying and selling them on Craigslist, you know. And then before that I was doing fucking tattoos in high school in the classroom while the teacher's teaching, you know. So like my life, if you really think about it, it's a bunch of things that just don't make sense together, but that's literally who I am, you know.
Right.
So when I make music, it's diverse because literally that's who I am. I'm not a linear person. If you look at my life, it's never been linear. It's always been a bunch of shit. Like this week I'm fucking skateboarding. The next week I'm a barber, you know. So
Yeah, no, I feel you, and I definitely like I definitely
I,
get it. Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
oh no, I say I don't think the world fully understands that yet. And here's the other thing, and why I love y'all so much, man. Y'all support me like a lot, and I love it because the world hasn't seen me, you know, and
Right.
they're confused by me. Like they're confused because they don't know how to categorize me. And you guys get it. This group of
Mhm.
people really understands like that, and probably you probably didn't know all of these details about me, but now it's probably even more evident, you know.
Yeah, and I was gonna say like it's crazy that that you just shared that because I grew up in San Bernardino. I'm
Yeah,
not sure if you know where that is.
yeah, I know.
Um, yeah, so like my parents didn't raise me, so I was kind of like because they were too busy working like just to pay for everything. So I feel the same way. Like I was just always like hanging out with people in the hood, and like that became like my family. You know what I mean? So I understand like where that comes from and things like that. Same thing with like the school and stuff. So that's like another reason why I feel like I sympathize with you a lot in this
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah, and for me, man, I'm happy that this is who I am, you know.
Hmm.
It takes a while for people to fully understand that, but when I have people like you guys screaming in people's faces like, you know, like what I'm actually doing and why it's important and why you may feel like I'm better than this person or that person, it really matters. Every
Right.
single one of your voices matters, you know, because I need as much support as I can get. You know, I'm gonna do something very ambitious with this album, and you guys are gonna see it firsthand. And I also want to tell you, very important. Just please be very, 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 very vigilant in paying attention to this rollout because I'm going to do something really interesting with Nike that is going to allow a lot of people the opportunity to, well, a few people, now I won't say a lot, but a few people the opportunity to partake in a product that I'm creating that is going to be very limited. And I know, you know, everyone's waiting for me to drop my Nikes and all of these things, and trust me, it's coming. But for now, I'm doing these teasers and doing these little things that are still significant and important. And I want you all to have the opportunity to have that. So at some point, there will be an album pre-order that also opts you in to be able to get a sneaker that I've been working very hard on for a long time. And there's not going to be a lot of them, but there's going to be a few people that are able to win them, and I just
Wow.
want to make sure that everyone is on the same page for when that happens. I also love the whole thing with the Air Force Ones and everybody being involved as a community. I want to keep that community aspect going. I want everybody to continue to work together to help each other. You know what I'm saying? I really love how people in this community, like, at least from what I see, I don't see every single thing, but I see a lot of respect and love for each other. And that's the kind of fan base I want to have. You know what I mean? Like, I don't
Hmm.
like that toxic shit. I don't really like that, like treating people wrong shit. Like we all cool. You know what I'm saying? We all, unless somebody's an asshole, you know what I mean? Then we got to treat
Yeah.
each other with
Yeah.
respect. So, you know, yeah.
It's
And,
oh shit,
and,
my bad.
and with I just want to also know, like, just talk about just Free Coast for a second. What's your understanding of what Free Coast is?
See, me personally, when you brought it up, was like the first time I ever heard of any of that stuff. Because, like you said, I was never taught that in school. So reading that, the whole thing about like combining the two flags and all that stuff is like the first time like I've ever heard of anything like that. So it was very interesting to me. I don't have really a too big of understanding of it.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
problem. Oh, bro.
Is I'm guessing a lot of this Free Coast is going to be incorporated with the album.
Yes, it's everything. It's the album.
Yes. Hmm.
It's
So
the
it's
F-65 is within the Free Coast ecosystem. It's
yeah.
just a
Okay.
vessel, you know. So it's basically like the music is a vessel, but Free Coast is like the movement of what I'm trying to create, and that flag is the world. It's the world. It's the it's what we live in, and to be a part of it, you just have to believe in the conversation and having the conversation and understanding the proper tools and the way to go about the conversation. Because sometimes I know there's people that, white people that feel attacked by some of these conversations. Some of them deserve it because maybe they are racist or they're not trying to hear what's important. But a
Right.
lot of them really just confused and don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
So this Free Coast is challenging us, people of color, to have the conversation in a manner that is respectful, and then challenging people who aren't of color to listen and have an understanding for some of the emotion that may come with it. So it's on us to try to put as much of the emotion to the side as possible. Obviously, it's not, there's many circumstances and reasons why it's very hard to do so, but it's a challenge. So a challenge is always going to be hard, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then it's challenging the other people to listen with an open mind, because once we can have the conversation, then we can really win. It's the reason why I like certain comedians. Um, yes, people don't maybe not agree with the message, but what I love is that it forces dialogue, because there can only be change if there's dialogue. If
Mm-hmm.
there's no dialogue, people are going to be confused as to what's going on around them and how people feel about them. And that is not going to breed, like, that lack of honesty doesn't breed a place for us to change. So I'm learning that more and more as I do music and I create art. So it's like art's supposed to be unapologetic, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's not supposed to be about like what's going on in the, like, necessarily in the world or in reality. It's about stepping outside of the box, having an outer body experience, and coming back with the tools needed to have a conversation. And then from there is where we kind of start the real life change. You feel me?
Yeah, no, for sure. Without knowledge, there's no action.
Yeah. So I'm doing my best to, in my little way, put some shit together that matters. And I'm just happy that I got this group of people that's here to help at least listen to what I gotta say, and then help push some of these ideas to the world. But me, bruh, I don't like to be looked at like as an activist or some kind of like super positive role model and shit. Like, I just say what I feel, and if you see that as positive and you believe in that, then cool, we could rock with each other. I don't
Mm-hmm.
like to be looked at as some kind of saint and shit like that, because I'm really not. Like,
Right.
I do the best I can as a human being in this world to do what I believe is right. I may not,
Mm-hmm.
I may believe something is right today, and tomorrow I might fucking change my mind, or I might look at something different. So I just want room as a human being to grow, and I believe that this group of people helps me do that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's always nice to have. I like seeing artists have a fan base that is really loyal to them, because a lot of the like on Twitter, you see people that have big followings always shitting on each other and talking shit. It's always nice to see an artist that likes to grow with their fans. So I really appreciate what you're doing with that in the community we built.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. So like I said, continue to push this Free Coast shit. And again, Free Coast, if you don't know, is me taking the Ghanaian and Sierra Leonean flag colors, fusing them together and reimagining it as what I see. And the reason being is Free Coast is where slaves were taken from West Africa and brought to America, and Freetown, I'm sorry, that's Cape Coast, and Freetown is where the slaves were freed. Even if you don't identify with West Africa or America or any of that, we all should be able to identify with the conversation that stuff like that brings, because a lot of different cultures had to experience hate or mistreatment in different ways around the world. So this concept is for everybody to be a part of, whether you're a part of the oppressed or not. You know, we all work together to find common ground and make change. You feel me? So
Right.
that's what I want to say. And I'm down to anyone who wants to talk. I'm down to answer some questions too.
Yeah, if anybody wants to say anything, just raise. Michael or A1, you can choose who you want to bring up, or Jay. Doesn't matter. Anybody?
Yeah.
I'll let y'all choose.
You want to bring up Squid?
Yeah.
All right. I don't even know how to do this. Hold up.
I got you. I got
All
you.
right. Yo,
Yep.
Squid. This man's gone.
All right.
He sat there with his hand raised the whole time, and he's just
All
gone.
right. Let's get we'll just choose someone random. Okay. Invite to speak. There you go.
Yo.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right.
Yeah, what's
Vern, just wait a second. All right. So Squid, what's up?
Good evening. My name is Joel Israel, aka Deep, aka Spirit Squid. I'm an aspiring videographer slash photographer. But first, I want to briefly go through message I sent yesterday.
I can't really hear what you're saying very well. It's in
Can't
and
hear me?
out. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
My bad, bro. Do you have to start over?
Huh?
We heard part of the introduction. It's Mike's a little muffled.
Oh,
Like cutting out a little bit.
It's cutting out.
hold on, bro. Let me try to fix it real quick.
Can
All
I
right, can you hear me now?
on?
All right. So I just wanted to briefly go through the message I sent yesterday, right? I'm a proud Indonesian living in the Netherlands. While our African brothers were enslaved and traded across the world, Dutch colonizers had conquered my ancestors, enslaved, oppressed, and tortured them for hundreds of years locally. Which are still hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of slaves, right? Across what unites as Indonesia today. So it's called Indonesia today. It used to be called the Dutch Indies. But because slavery is considered such a dark page in Dutch history, they'll never be able to fully acknowledge the horrors of it, right? Just like you said in your message, IDK. And that's the exact reason why when not so many people know about Indonesian slavery. Like you said, how many African Americans don't exactly know about their history either. In the recent years, there has been a lot more attention for like the Dutch Caribbeans, like how do you call it? Just like the Caribbeans, right? But Indonesia's history is yet to obscure, and is why we are considered Asians, while our ancestors are actually the same people as Samoans and Australian Aboriginals. So it's why people consider slavery to have ended like 150 years ago, right? But my great grandmother, she was still a house Negro, and that's just facts. And more people need to hear this, man. And it's just like I'm just really thankful you're trying to give us how do you call it, a stage or a podium, just like a platform for us to tell our stories, because they're not in us. And
Sure.
Ara Rasa, better Rasa. Do you still hear me, by the way?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Ara Rasa, better Rasa. It's Indonesian for the pain you feel. I feel as well. It's a saying in my culture, Malaccan Samoa specifically, and I see my African and descendants as my brothers and sisters because their ancestors have been through the same horror and trauma that my ancestors have been through. they have just there's just more known about them, and I'm really proud of that. I'm really proud of that, and I love how there's more. How there's more like there are more people that want to learn more about it, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, and well, now that I've told you about what I'm trying to represent, but what I'm trying to represent here, I want to tell you about how how I want to. Oh wow, sorry, I'm kind of nervous.
I can't
how,
really hear you anymore. But
well,
I because I read some of what you sent earlier, and I think it's great that you brought that up because it was something I wasn't familiar with. But I think it's great that this conversation is bringing up conversations like these. And again, the most important thing we can do is try to do our best to have the conversation without feeling as much of the anger we may feel inside in order to try to get to some kind of common ground and on both sides. But I think that you messaging me was something that I really liked and appreciated, and it actually fueled me to want to do this even more. So thank you for that.
it'll be my pleasure, man. I always want to contribute contribute to your vision, man.
Yeah,
I see how creative you are, man. Like I don't know, but the things I want to how I want to contribute to Free Coast and F-65 is through my lens, man. I want to
yeah,
visualize our stories in whatever way you'll be using them for Free Coast or F-65. I mean, I just want to I want to help you create a visualization. Well, I'm sorry, man. I want to help you create a visualization for the outside Road to City, man. Yeah,
yeah.
just
Whatever you create, just send it to me, and then I'll check it out and see what you got going on. Again, I appreciate you, just even telling your side of the story, and I definitely want to make sure we have time to talk to a few other people. So let's try to move through these as much as we can. I'm always I'm learning to check my Discord DMs as much as possible. So yeah, just make sure you keep sending me things through that.
all right. I will for sure, man. Thank you
Uh,
for having me.
Thank you. Yeah,
All
who
right.
else wanted to say something?
Yeah, what's good, bro? I haven't seen you in a while, but I just wanted to stop by and say what's up. And
Man.
fucking, I was listening to what you were saying about the free coast, and that was just like teaching me a lot. Like I like picking that up from you, and I wanted to ask you, like, what's been your process lately? Like, what's been keeping you motivated, like making all this new stuff?
Just this shit, bro. Like honestly, the fact that I know that
Mm-hmm.
we're about to do some groundbreaking things in the way that we present this album, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of news that's going to happen very soon. That's pretty interesting. And you guys
Yeah.
know I always find outside of the box ways to communicate what I'm doing through different partners and shit like that. So it's going to be
Mm-hmm.
pretty interesting what's about to happen.
Yeah. I definitely love to witness it, bro. Every time you come to New York and show love, like it's always something new, and it's always a more innovative way to reach out. So like, I love what you're doing, bro, all the time.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
You already.
Yeah. I could talk to someone else too.
Yeah. I'm gonna bring him up.
Yo.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. So like you haven't really said too much about the album, but I was just wondering, is this whole Free Coast thing an idea on your own or something you came up with a group of people?
No, no. Like for me, I collaborate with people for execution, but my vision always comes from me. So when you see certain things, you can tell like what's going on in my mind. So the way
Yeah.
Free Coast came about was just me wanting to generally talk about the concept of just race and what it is, and how do you change the conversation from negative to positive. And then I started digging into my history, and then I found out about Cape Coast, and understood the conversation around Freetown, and I realized how many people don't know about these places and what their significance is. And then it prompted me to do all of these other things. So it kind of, it comes from me, like, I've always
Jay.
I believe.
Oh, you cut out.
You cut out for a second.
I said I have sisters, but I grew up as an only child. So literally, it as an only child, I have a lot of time to think and imagine and visualize. So I kind of just, this is just, it's my vision, and I articulate that to people that I work with so we can bring it to life.
Right.
All right, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so I think that's really interesting.
Yeah, and it's nice to see perspectives from people with different cultures and people all around the world telling their stories. Because I myself don't have much of a background that I could say has built me that much, because I come from a very not wealthy, but I was fortunate enough to grow up with parents and supportive families. So I like hearing about all stories about and people's lives. It gives me more information, and it's really nice to hear from other
And
people.
that's what I love about, like, that's what Free Coast is. It's like, if you don't relate to it, it's not for you to not be a part of it. It's for you to come and understand it, and then help create more conversation or spread the word. That's really all it's about.
Yeah.
So you can be a part of this shit regardless of your background and ethnicity.
Mhm. Yeah, always nice to incorporate people from all different backgrounds. So yeah, I really like that
Exactly.
about that.
Exactly. I probably only have about 8 minutes left before I have to go, so we can get some more people up here.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring someone in real quick.
Assalamu alaikum, IDK. I'm Yassine. I currently live in Morocco. I'm soon going to Pennsylvania for college. I remember the first time I listened to you was through the Lucky Day feature on Puerto Rico. It still fucking blows my mind. And I was just, when you first unveiled Simple, you also unveiled that you had Kate Renata producing the entire album. What about Kate Renata, made you think he's the producer, he's the right one for this project, he meets my artistic points of view that I want to execute with this EP anyway?
Yeah, man, brother, I don't think that much when I make music. I make it, I tap into it. It's gonna sound so crazy, and if you're not spiritual or religious, you're gonna probably like roll your eyes at this shit. But I'm just being honest. I tap into something spiritual that connects me and guides me to what I end up doing. And I me and Nada linked up organically, and he brought up, hey, we should do an album. And then I started thinking, after that feeling of, okay, this makes sense. And then it was like, I want to talk about this thing over his beats, because his beats don't usually go with this thing. And I love juxtaposition. So that's how that kind of came about. You feel me?
I guess you, man.
Yeah.
It's great that you're connecting with your community. It's 11 right now. I stopped reviewing for this, but thank you so much. Thanks for having me. See you, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
It's crazy knowing that like you're West African, because I don't know if you know this, but I think like the second or the first, I forgot which one, but the first or second president of Mexico was like half West African.
That's crazy. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he abolished slavery, I think, in like 1829, I think, and like helped like a lot of the slaves in Texas get free in Mexico.
Okay. Damn, that's crazy. I didn't even know that. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
That's crazy. I saw Tallest raise his hand. or her hand. I'm not sure who that is, but you could bring them up if they because I know they were saying a few things.
What was their name?
Thomas. Him or her. I don't know if it's who it is.
Yeah.
They
I
were
don't even
just
see their name.
They,
Okay.
whoever else is.
I think they just dipped out.
Yeah, just
Yeah, we could bring up whoever else wants to come up.
pick
That's on-
whoever else.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
on,
Okay. I'll bring someone. I'll bring
that's
someone.
on you guys. I don't know how to do that.
Okay.
Hello.
Yo,
Yo, what's up, guys?
what's up?
What's going on?
Yo, so my name is Zaid Zastro. I'm a recording artist and I own a studio in Phoenix, Arizona.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you.
Oh, I was just saying my name is Zaid Zastro. I'm an independent recording artist and I own a recording studio in Phoenix, Arizona.
Okay.
I just wanted to ask, what got you started in music?
Oh, I mean, I tried. Well, I want this conversation to be a little bit more about like what's happening next, but I'll answer it quickly. It's about I just kind of was in prison and I was bored and I just started making music, and then I said when I get out I'm gonna try to like do this seriously, and that's what ended up becoming. That's when I ended up becoming IDK.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I love everything you do and keep it up.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we just brought up OG1. Just
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
You mentioned all the different stuff.
Oh, you're breaking up.
You're muffled a little bit.
Hello?
I think they're trying to fix their mic.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
You mentioned all the different sides of yourself that people don't know about you. Will you be sharing more of those sides with the release of this album? Like, I know you cleared your Instagram, so can we expect to see more of you online?
Yeah, I mean, I just fucking hate the internet. If I'm being honest with you, I hate Instagram.
Real.
I hate TikTok. Like, it's just
But
like,
we've been
oh,
seeing you on there.
I know that's the only fucking reason why I even consider. If it wasn't for y'all, I swear to God, I would not use that shit, bro. It's like it's so annoying, like to use and shit. But it's like I know that there's people that want to know what's going on, so I'll definitely be sharing more of my story for sure. Like I wish that I'd done this earlier in my career, but this F-65 album is about connecting the dots of a lot of different things. So I'll do my best to kind of articulate more of my story for sure, especially for you since you asked me that. But I just want to make it clear to everybody here, I fucking hate Instagram. I hate TikTok. I mean, Twitter is okay. I don't mind Twitter too much, but like it's just because it's just like it's very hard for me to find organic things that I just like to post. You know what I'm saying? So it's like whatever, but when that's why you don't see much, because it's like usually if that's what's happening, it's because of that reason. I found something that I organically feel like I want to share. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's really why. But I'll put more shit back up there. I promise.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, I got time for one more.
All right, let's
So
see.
let me. I got someone else.
Okay.
Yo, Jay, you gotta show me a West African food place in LA if there is any. I want to go try that.
There's a couple.
Oh, that sounds good.
I'll text you some on the side. I mean, DM you some on the side. There's a few though.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey DJ, forward them to me too.
I got you.
I'm trying to take a visit up there.
All right, what's good, Thunder?
Yo.
All right, so is my voice clear? Is there any issues in volume?
No,
I
you're
can hear
good.
you now.
All right, for sure. All right, cool. All right, so you brought up Free Space. Like, is that an extension of the album? I guess I'm
Free
trying to figure
coast,
like
free coast,
through Free Space
free coast. You mean?
Coast. You know, I mean, same thing. You know, like so with
No,
Free
it's
Coast.
not. It's not the same thing. You got to get that right. You got to respect what I'm creating, brother.
Okay, all right. So with Free Coast is an extension of the album.
It's not an extension of the album. It's a world within the album, in which the album lives in. So it's the album is an extension of Free Coast.
Oh, okay. All right. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what you're like saying, all right, I learned this, I learned that about portions of, like the free Atlantic, the Atlantic trade shit, all that. Like, so like, are you like referencing like the homie type stuff? You know what I mean?
Who's the homie? What are you talking about?
Like that track, like right? That movie that just came out. What was it called? The Woman King or something like that,
No,
right?
I'm not. I'm not. I'm referencing something a lot more general than that. Like that's a specific thing within probably what we're talking about, but I'm not referencing that. I'm referencing something that's real that a lot of people take really seriously.
Okay. All right. So then when you're like saying, all right, I'm learning this, I'm learning that, at what point do you draw the line of like, all right, this is kind of hurting my spirit? Like,
It's
you know what I
not.
mean? Like,
It doesn't hurt my spirit. It never hurts my spirit to tell somebody something that I believe is going to bring positive change. It actually replenishes my spirit, especially when we have things like this. None of that stuff hurts my spirit, because I was I got put here on and given this platform, which I'm very thankful from. Um, and now we're literally um, I'm able to return the favor of the platform I've been given by using it to educate or give my opinion and my views on things that I believe will help. And so far, it's been working very well. So I guess I'm going in the right direction, but it doesn't hurt my spirit.
so all right. So in that case, like, what do you think's really like preventing the ability to hit? Like, 'cause I just walked in like Crumble Cookies like a couple days ago, and Breathe was playing, right? So I'm like,
Mhm.
what? Like, so to me, for me, that's like, okay, you're big, like you made it. Like, do you think there's another level at a certain point? Like, what do you think is preventing you from hitting that like Drake esque? You know what I mean? Like that Drake esque, not Drake esque, but but like
Okay.
that level where it's like, holy fuck, I'm fucking everywhere. You know what I mean?
Nothing's preventing me. It's just time. And it's also what I want in my career. I don't know if I don't know if there's any artist that vision aligns exactly with what success looks like for me. I think like shit like
Like,
this is success for me. I think like shit like what you're about to see in the next couple months is gonna be success to me, and it's all gonna be things you can't see other artists necessarily doing. So and a lot of these people we speak about, I'm cool with them, and they look at me as successful in certain ways. So I think it's hard to compare anything I do to someone else, and I
yeah,
don't
well,
do
yeah,
that.
you're not gonna like sit around and compare yourself to something, but like just like exposure, like there is a logistic to that, isn't there? I mean,
Well, we're
I,
we're
but
mostly talking about like the album right
you
now.
should have that
Not
level
really
of
talking
exposure.
about his exposure.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think I'll speak on it though. It's like, I mean, that may be personally how you looking at it, which I understand. I don't know that I go in the studio and think about exposure when I say the shit I say. What I think about is shit like this and people fucking with what I got going on. I think I focus more on like who's fucking with me and how
Yeah.
can I elevate like my artistry, and as long as I'm doing that every time, then I'm successful. I only compare myself to me, and me yesterday, or me during Simple, or me during any other project. I've elevated a lot, in my opinion. since then. So that's the win for me. And I think when you keep doing that, you look up and be like, damn, fuck, I'm past this person or past that person, maybe, if you even care, you know. But for me, I know a lot of people that started when I started, and I do not hear from them anymore. And I haven't seen them since, you know. And there's a lot of artists that's come and gone since I've started. I've continued to keep going, and that's success for me.
Okay. Yeah, no, I fucking love that. All right, last thing. I know I'm about to get fucking booted. I'm sure people are sick of hearing my voice. But are you self-aware of the fact, like, so when you put F-65, are you self-aware of the fact, like, with strong concordance with like Hebrew, uh, like gematria, you know what it means, like angel. Were you self-aware of that?
It means what?
Chief Archangel. F-65, when translated through Strong's Concordance, it means Chief Archangel. Were you self-aware of that when you?
I wasn't, but I have to tell you something really important though. I move when I create with a divine spirit that speaks to people in ways that I don't even know it's happening. For instance, with Is He Real? I happened to put the sheep on my left and the goat on my right or something like that. And it was like I think it was Matthew 24, I forgot which one, but it literally said he will have the sheep on his left and the goat on his right or something like that. Like some Bible passage, it was exactly that. And I could have literally put the sheep on the other side. You know what I mean? It was like crazy that like those kind of things were happening. So when you say that, it's something I want to look into because I tend to do that in my music sometimes without even knowing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, man. It like slightly tripped me out for like a second, but then that's why I was like, all right, I know IDK is like that dude that like to coincidentally create something that has that element added to it makes me go, holy fuck! Like this dude, and again, that like stemming back to what I asked, like, why isn't this dude like? I already know, like, you don't give a fuck about, you know, like when you're recording, like if this is gonna be mass appeal esque, but it's like these like moments, like what you just referenced, what I just referenced, it's like it's insane to me that that's not at the forefront at like a Grammy performance or something like that. You know what I mean? And who gives a fuck about the Grammys? But like if we're talking shit like where like the pinnacle of music is at the forefront and those performances are at the forefront, like why aren't you at that when you're like doing this shit? Like you said, like it's like a spirit that's like guiding you. You know what I mean? Like it's like this like element to your music that even the titles, track listing is just so like fucking cool to me. I'm like,
Yeah.
and looking at that, it might trip. I don't want to like trip you out or nothing, but I just think it's fucking fascinating the fact that you put F-65 and like put F-65. Man, I'm telling you, it'll trip you out. You're fucking killing it, bro. I'm telling you,
Yeah,
like.
I appreciate that, and send that to me. I want to really look into that. That's a great thing to catch. And I'll just say, and I'll end with this: like my time is my time, and until I give up, all those things are possible still. As long as you see me elevating and you see me doing, putting in more work and getting better, and you see who used to know who I was versus the people that are starting to now become come in my circle and respect what I do. You see that, so it's only a matter of time if those are the things that I truly want. Right now, my heart is in the place of just putting the thing, what I think is right into the world. My real goal, bro, is I want to win a Nobel Peace Prize or a Nobel Prize. Like I'm not thinking about. I would love to have a Grammy. If I get it, you'll see me like very happy. If I don't get it, it doesn't matter to me. It only matters if I have it. What I really want in life and my goals, and you see by the moves that I make, teaching at Harvard and shit, I'd be trying to think of like groundbreaking outside of the box things that nobody's done. I don't really think so much about the things people accomplish.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%. I swear like if I was on that ability to stepping. You said in one of your songs, you were like, like there was a problem with people coming into those classes. Is like, I mean, I'm paraphrasing one of your verses, but like, is there like like not necessarily like people like on the come up, but I'm saying like people that are like, hey yo, let this brother come in and like participate in this class. Do you have issues with that with Harvard? Because like I had some issues with Harvard, so I find it very interesting that you collaborated with them. Like, do you have issues with people being like that? You want like you can put a name drop in and let them come in?
Not really.
Yep.
I think that people trust my opinion, especially because I've done it well already. So I don't think so. I think people like, especially this year around, I think people really are fucking with like my mindset, and whoever I say makes sense. You know, for the most part, we all agree. So no, not anymore. Maybe there. I don't remember what verse that was. I literally freestyle all my like 90% of my shit. I'm just saying that shit, and it's like, my mind is able to think of some crazy ass shit that just correlates in like 5 different ways, and I just do it. Like I can make like a fucking probably an album in like in a day if I really wanted to, just off of freestyling. But so I don't remember. It's like Lil Wayne. He doesn't remember a lot of his verses. I remember when I make them, but after that, I let it go and I give it to y'all, and I give it to the world. So I don't even remember the verse you're talking about, but I do know that whatever issues I could have had or anything, it's not that anymore.
Right. Yeah, I just moved them back to the audience because like taking a lot of time,
Yeah.
and we were wanting to move someone else up maybe if you had more time for like one more person.
I actually kind of have to dip, but I can try one more person real quick if it's quick.
Yeah, it's taking forever.
Yeah.
All right, chicken. If you want to unmute.
Hello?
Yeah.
No.
Hi, my name's Nick. I'm from Minnesota. So I was wondering, what were your plans for after the release of F-65 and your plans for Free Coast? And I just wanted some insight on that.
I'm creating a lot of art, and I want that art to live on forever, and I want kids to be able to go and look at that art, and that art tell the story of what we're doing with Free Coast. And when I say we, I mean all of us here. So that obviously I'm gonna go on tour. Obviously, I have a bunch of other little things happening, and if all goes well, you guys will probably hear about F-68, which is something that happens after F-65 within the same year. So that's the goal.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Peace.
Peace.
See y'all. Thank you for joining.
Yes,
Thank you for
sir.
taking the time.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Hopefully, next time.
Bro, that shit.
Oh my god,
bro. I know. I get it. Like I understand because like I get nervous as shit too because I feel like that's what was going on with him. I don't want to like make assumptions, but that's what I thought was going on. I get it, but yeah,
no, I agree. No, just there's no like shade or hate or anything
Oh,
like
yeah,
that.
no.
Obviously, I want to give everybody like a chance to speak. But at the same time, we gotta try to be respectful with like time, and then on top of that, like his creation. We don't want to be disrespectful.
Keeping on keep it on topic most of the time. This is like I know he was talking about we only move up from here. We don't move backwards. I said that in a tweet a while back, and that was something that really stuck out to me because I like the progressive change that's going through with his music and everything. So it's always good to see that.
Oh yeah, and hopefully everything with y'all goes well.
Yes, sir.
Everybody here that's still listening. Hopefully everything goes well with y'all. Hope you have a good day.